Going, hey you, come on, sit down. You're sitting at the grown-ups table. I'm your host, Jesse Pimpinella, and as always, my partner in crime,
John Jacobs.
Thank you so much for joining, everybody. This is a very fun evening of At the Grown-ups Table, because it's not just a simple evening at the Grown-ups Table. No. It is comedy night at the Grown-ups Table, everybody. Yes, this is one of my favorite nights where John and I introduce three of our very favorite comedians that we love to watch onto the show so they can make you laugh, make you enjoy, steal you away from whatever mundane life you got going on right now, because my life is mundane. And very mundane, like I said, I have to remember every day to give my dog a treat to make his poop taste bad because he eats his poop. That's where my day is at. So that
was really informative. Thank you.
It is. And if only they did that with alcohol for AA people, that would work. They don't make it taste like shit.
Would it though? I mean, would that really work?
I don't know. I'm on cutting edge here, John.
Look, man, I've seen people drink spilled beer out of an ashtray, so that makes it kind of tough.
Okay, well, you beat me there. We'll have to put it back. We're going to have to go back to the drawing board, and we'll figure this out, and we'll make this work. But before we announce the comedians we got, I want to say one thing. Make sure you share that link, share the love, share the joy, share laughter today, because these comedians are by far some of my favorite comedians. We got Dan Brown, Dan Brady, and Matt Onesti on the showcase here tonight. And we'll be telling you all about them. We'll give you information about them so you can make sure you can follow and check them out. One last thing, as always, like and share on YouTube. The episode will be online on YouTube tomorrow morning. So make sure you go there, like and subscribe so you always know when we're on putting up new stuff on our channel. But for now,
please go subscribe to the YouTube channel. That helps us move up in the algorithm and helps us grow our audience. So head over to YouTube, check out At the Grown-ups Table, and please subscribe. We would really appreciate it.
You heard it here, everybody. And now we're gonna bring our comics to the stage, or virtual stage. As always, I give a little funny ditty story about every one of them. This next comic is by far one of my favorite comics to work with. We used to do Comic Cons and all that stuff before the COVID hit us. This dude has by far, he may know this or not, I am competing to write the better Batman joke, and I can't do it. All right, I can't. Like, he's Tony Stark, I'm Justin Hammer. Everything is like, just designs are going all over the place. Dude, everything is shit.
It's not a good thing to be Justin Hammer. Nobody wants to be Hammer, dude. What are you talking about?
He can write it, dude. He can write it. No, without doubt, this guy's a rock star. He wrote a comic book. It's just hysterical, and it's like the same graphics as the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, which we'll talk more about that. We'll plug it later. It's Dan Brown Saves Christmas. It's go check it out. You'll love it. But let's bring him out. And right now, he's gonna have his Dry Bar comedy special debuted soon. So we'll talk more about that. But please make it loud and proud in the comment section for my good friend, Mr. Dan Brown, everybody. Dan.
Hi, am I on the air?
You're on the air.
Baba Booey, Howard Stern's penis.
Baba Booey.
By the way, I wrote 3 comic books. I mean, not that I'm bragging, but I kind of am.
Well, guys. I want to rephrase myself. Comic book series.
Thank you so much, Jesse.
A series sounds like it is a bigger size thing. You know what I mean? 3 comics? No. The series.
It is a series. It's a trilogy. Thank you so much. And thank you guys so much for having me. This is so cool. I'm glad that you guys are doing something like this, especially as we're still in the pandemic, especially as we're still watching comedy clubs not open. It's getting frustrating. I feel for everyone. I was one of those people, like, I don't know about you guys, but I was one of those people that was afraid to leave their house for like the longest time. Because, I mean, you got to look at how 2020 was as a whole. Like, the year started off with Australia being on fire. And then we had the first impeachment process, and we saw a bunch of protests happen with that. Then the coronavirus came, shut down everything. Then next thing you know, we had the murder hornets. Then we had all those other protests and riotings going on. I swear to God, for months at a time, I was just terrified of everything I was looking at. Then, like, in August, I got like one of those red alert text messages on my phone. I'm like, Jesus Christ, what's going to happen now? And I looked at it and it said there's a tornado in my area. And I was like, oh, thank God it's only a tornado. I thought this was going to be something bad. I'm picking up pieces of my chimney off my neighbor's lawn going, honey, we dodged a bullet. Oh, I did want to tell you guys this. Over the last 6 months, I have lost 25 pounds.
Hey, good for you, Dan.
Thank you. Thank you. For those of you at home who don't know, I have a 2-year-old son. I did it because of him. He's not my inspiration. He kind of bullied me into doing this. You're probably wondering, like, how did I get bullied by a toddler? I'll tell you, because like I was in the shower and he was being potty trained, so I have to keep the door open every time I'm in the shower so he doesn't have an accident. Anyway, I'm doing my thing. I'm making myself clean. I'm meditating. I'm singing "If I Can Turn Back Time" by Cher.
Oh, great song, man.
There we go.
It is. See, there's a lot of people don't understand. There are two appropriate songs to sing in the shower: "If I Could Turn Back Time" and "Born in the USA" by Bruce Springsteen.
Hell yeah,
man. Good
Both
choice.
are great songs. However, Bruce does not have the vocal range that Cher does, and I fucking do. Sadly ironic, if I could turn back time, I would have found a way to prevent my son from ripping open the shower curtain and him looking at me going, "Ha ha ha, daddy's butt, oink oink."
Oh, man.
Something else happened during my wife went through like this giant cleaning spree throughout the house, like getting rid of stuff when the pandemic first hit. She found my old high school yearbook that I thought I had gotten rid of. And it was kind of embarrassing at first, but she was looking through it. And I forgot about this. John, Jesse, when you guys were seniors in high school, did they give you an option to put like a quote with your name?
Yes.
You did?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. Our school did the same thing. They gave us that option. My buddy Steve was big into sports, so he wrote something like "Play every game like it's your last." My friend Justin did "Carpe Diem." I did what I thought was the better thing to do. I decided to quote my dad. So you had the picture of me, you had my name, Daniel Ray Brown Jr., and then underneath in quotation marks it says, "I'll give you something to cry about, Dad." Now, I don't know if your school did this.
Oh, shit.
Our school, they did give us the option to do the quote, but you had to pay $25 extra to have your quote put in the yearbook.
Oh, no, they didn't charge us, man.
Oh,
No,
yeah,
our school did, and my mom gave me a check for $25, and she thought I was going to put something like, make sure you always love your family or some dumb shit like that. I totally forgot about this until I saw the yearbook. I remember the day I brought the yearbook home, and she was just so mad at me. She was like, "For all the things your father says, why did you pick that?" And I was like, "Because it's better than him saying, 'You're no son of mine.'"
Right. Or like, "You'll never amount to anything," or pointed at you like, "I give up,"
Oh, shit.
So the big question is, how did your dad respond to that? Because if I was a dad, I would have cracked up. I would have thought that was the funniest shit my kid's ever done.
My dad's an interesting character. He really is. He's 65 years old, and he still brags about how hard he can party like he's 21. and it's been like a year and a half now since this happened. But I remember this one time in particular. He was like, "You should have saw me. Things were going crazy the other night. I had 10 shots of Jaeger. I had 6 cans of PBR. I took my pants off. I fought the bartender. I threw up all over the place. It was crazy. You should have been there." And I was like, "I was. That was your grandson's birthday party you ruined." I had to pay $400 for cleanup. And by the way, that wasn't a bartender. We're at a Chuck E. Cheese. You fought an electronic mouse playing the saxophone, you asshole.
Oh my
Every
god!
dad's fantasy is to get into a fight or do something embarrassing at a Chuck E. Cheese.
Oh my god!
But that's just the thing. Like I love my dad, and deep down I know he's a really good guy and everything, and he really does try his best. And I'm trying to be the best dad that I could be for my son. I'm not trying to be like too hard on my son. Like I'm not going to be pushing my failed dreams on him. Like I don't care if he's going to be into sports. I don't care if he's into music. I don't care what he does. The only thing I want for my son is to never get booed by an audience on Maury. Like if I could just prevent that from that happening, because no one ever sees their kid on Maury getting booed and be like, "That's my son." Like maybe after he's told he's not the father and he breaks out the dance moves, he's like, "All right, he gets that from me."
That's my boy.
Like, all I'm going to say is, like, if my dad, like, if as a dad, if my son's going to be a liar and a cheater and a manipulator and just all these awful things, run a comb through your hair, buy a suit, go meet somebody in a meetup group, and find someone who will take you on Dr. Phil instead. Like, that's my. And then, you know what? I'm gonna end on this one here.
All right.
This is not the this is not the Batman joke that Jesse's talking about. Sorry, man. I'm not going to be able to have the time to do that.
You're a good boss. You're a good boss.
But we are living in kind of like a really weird time here where actually I want to say this first, but I'm going to say this part first, then I'll go into the big heavy part. What I have learned during the pandemic and being off the road is that I absolutely love having nothing to do. And I've learned to not say anything when I have nothing to do because that just jinxes it right away. Because the last time I remember I said something about that, my wife's phone rang and she picked it up and she went, "Hey, Mom, what's going on?" "Oh, no, that sounds terrible." "Well, he'd love to help out." And before she hangs up the phone, like, I'm trying to negotiate with God, like, how much bad karma would I get if I fake a heart attack right now? And she hangs up and she goes, "Well, what was your plan to do today?" I was like, "Well, I literally bought a cake from Giant Eagle yesterday and I was planning on eating that whole thing today and not getting out of my pajamas." And she was like, "Well, that sounds like fun, but how would you like to go over to my parents' house and help my dad get a coyote up from underneath the porch?" And I was just like, "Oh, honey, I would, but I'm really not feeling that good today." And she called me out. So, but I just want to end on this because I know we got some listeners out there and some viewers. We're living in a weird time. It's split. You know, half the country thinks you're right. Half the country thinks you're wrong. There's left, there's right, there's black, there's right. I'm just going to say something that we all need to understand and get on the same page for. Marvel makes better movies than DC.
Yeah, I can't disagree.
Yeah.
And I love DC. You know, I'm a huge DC fan. Here's why. Marvel touches your heart in a way that DC doesn't.
Yep.
Like the way they had like Lou Ferrigno doing the cameos in the Hulk movies. The way they have Stan Lee, even though he's passed on, still doing cameos in movies. The way they'll make fun of the other movies the actors have been in, very subtly, but that's their way of tipping off to the fans, saying, "Hey, thank you, we appreciate you, we love you so much." DC does not do that. Like, I guarantee you, we will probably never ever, compared to, you know, with the exception of the Flash movie, like, we'll never really get to see any other reference to Michael Keaton's Batmans ever in Batman movies or anything. You know, we'll never get to see Adam West, unfortunately, do a cameo in a Justice League movie.
Yeah.
And this goes back to Batman versus Superman here, where Superman gets killed by Doomsday, and DC did that because they wanted to show people how to defeat Superman. They wanted to break their hearts. They wanted everyone to kind of leave the theater sad. And as a big Superman fan, I was just disappointed because if you really wanted to defeat Superman, if you really wanted to break our hearts, if you really wanted to make us cry, if you really wanted to see Superman get defeated, he should have been thrown off a horse. So the other two comics on the show, I got fucking bigger balls than either of you.
Oh my God.
And you viewers are going to understand why that's true here too. Because if you didn't get that joke, there was a man named Christopher Reeve, and he was a bit more Clark Kent than Superman. He was a clumsy fella, and that's just where I'm going to leave it.
Jesus. Dan Brady, everybody. Round of applause, everybody. Round of applause. Yeah. Show that love in the comment section, Dan Brady. I love that joke.
Wow.
When you do that at Comic Cons, the way the laughters, you know what it is? It's like that, like, remember Christopher Nolan in what is it? Inception, when that that is the laughter that goes out. Like, it's so loud. It is just it's such a funny damn joke, and so quick, simple, easy. It always kills those shows. I always love.
And people think I'm actually making a point too. It's like, no, I'm just going to make fun of a paralyzed man. Like,
who's now dead.
And who
was America's Superman? Everybody agrees. So
yeah. But Dan, it's good to see you, Dan Brown. Man, I wanted to put this up real fast for everybody to see because Well, this is just like I said. I admire you, dude. I admire your work ethic. I admire a lot of things. And you when you say you're going to do something, you do it. And I remember at one point it was just talk, guys. It was just talk. Everybody, I'm going to write a comic book. I'm like, all right, cool. But this guy, I want to say he did it. Like this is from his website, and like I said, the graphics are amazing. Like it is so. It's so Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle-esque, that style of drawing the way it's comic book. But not just one, but three. It's a trilogy. But not just it's not so much as a trilogy, it's a series. It's a series of comics. And now, for you as a comic book writer, I think I've asked you this question before. I want the viewers to know. What inspired you to jump to comic book, to do this?
So there's a number of things. First thing, I just want to tip my hat to David Waldman, who was the artist. I could not have done these comic books without him. I have no drawing ability, and he knocked it out of the park. It turned out better than I thought it could have. So I was thrilled with his work. The other thing, as comedians, we're always looking for merchandise. You know what I mean? And I always wanted to write comic books as well. Exactly. And the big reason why we got into doing the comic book conventions was not only to appeal to people who would definitely become part of our fan base, but because I knew that I'm like, hey, if I can get them to laugh, if I can get them to really like me, they might be willing to invest, in this case, financially, something to a part of me, whether I had bumper stickers or my old DVD or my old shot glasses or whatnot. And finally, one night, I had this thought. I'm like, just write a comic book. You're at a comic book convention. People want to buy comic books while they're there. Mm-hmm. And if they're at a show of yours, and they really like you, they're really going to want to buy one of your comic books later. I'm proud to say that before COVID hit, we were only able to get a couple of these conventions, but so I had the books available only for a couple of the times. The few times that we did have it available, it did really well, and I was really touched by the amount of people that were interested in it.
Real well, dude. You were a rock star when you were selling those, dude. You were like,
thank you, man,
signing it and everything. It was fucking cool just to watch you.
Awesome. I started pre-signing the comic books because even at clubs, like I don't take the book on stage with me, but I let them know, hey, I wrote a comic book, and I tell the short story of how that all came to be. And surprisingly at clubs, like there's a lot of people who are really interested. So I actually started pre-signing the books to have them all ready to go. And then they hand over their cash or whatever. And I hand over the books, and just really quick, I'm like, oh, okay, what's your name? Mike. To Mike, best of luck. And my signature's already on it.
Excellent. Well, before we get to the next comic, I'm trying to squeeze everything all together because I see that you said this is an online. You're going to get an online store going, so people will be able to purchase this.
Yeah, I'm
hoping.
But hoping it's coming soon.
Oh, as soon as it's up, I'll buy all 3 of them.
No, thank you, brother.
Here. I've been meaning to buy it. Buddy. I'm a horrible, shitty friend, but I do have. Have his comedy album right there. So I still have that, man.
I'm trying to bury that as deep as possible.
Don't. That's awesome, dude. That's still awesome.
Thank you, man.
Comedy.
Thank you guys so much for having me, man.
One last thing, real quick, we move on. Update on the air. Dry Bar Comedy. You filmed a special. I remember when you went out there, man. The experience you told me is fantastic. When can we see it? When is it going to be up?
From the last time I spoke to them, production kept getting pushed back and back and back for COVID. Right now, from the last email, they said the release date is expected to be in the middle of March. No exact date yet. But you know what? With clubs that are still hesitating to open, if they want to wait another couple months, I'll be totally fine with that. You know what I mean? Have a brand new special. Yeah, have a brand new special coming out at that time. Hopefully get a lot more people listening to it and watching it, and then getting interested in me, and clubs wanting me to come out then. So we'll see. But yeah, middle of March right now.
Rock and roll.
When it releases, we'll definitely do something for you, whether that's have you on the show and watch it live, or promote it, or
have you
want to talk about it. Whatever it is, I mean, we got you on that.
I appreciate that, man. Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm.
Let's head over to our next comic coming to the show, everybody. This guy, like I said, is by far a go-getter. This guy gets shit done. I remember he put on. Here's the thing: it's really rare you're a funny comedian and a hell of a booker. Those are two things that you're either one or the other. He's up here with both of them. Even the fuck out show I did. He had me headline. It was at the Erie Movie Theater House. One of the coolest fucking shows I ever did. So damn cool. I actually put a picture up on my Instagram about it. He runs it so damn professionally. It felt like a club show. And this guy has also one of the funniest history podcasts I've ever been on. It's called What the History. We'll talk more about it after because I want everybody to know about it. But please, everybody, get a roaring applause for my good friend, Mr. Comedian Dan Brady, everybody. Dan. Good. Oh, wrong Dan. Correct Dan.
Correct Dan. There we go.
Correct Dan. All right.
Oh,
Dan, you sound muted.
Hold on. Unmute yourself. I can't unmute there.
There, I got it.
Yay!
There, he's back on.
Yeah, something that was said to me was two Dans don't make a wrong. And that was said to me by my state senator, Dan Laughlin. You guys probably have noticed by now I've been blessed with one of those faces that a beard can't help. Without the beard, you're like, that guy's probably hitting some bodies. With the beard, you're like, they're in his cabin. That's where they're at. I have to say, it's great to be meted with laughter and not disapproving looks like my mom's in the audience. In case you guys are wondering how I'm doing, I'm 32 years old and I just got fired by Walmart. Walmart was one of my first jobs in a couple of years, and it's hard for me to be in a job because I'm weird. I say weird things, I do weird stuff. And I figured some stuff out. Like, if a coworker's asking you if you want more boxes, the professional response isn't "fuck me up, daddy."
What the fuck?
Did you know that it is unprofessional and inappropriate when you're having a bad day at work to turn to your coworker and say, "Boy, I'm really hoping for an active shooter today."
Wow.
Holy shit. Holy shit.
Dan, you set the bar for dark, and I'm coming for it.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Oh man. So and I had to work with people, and I know most of us really can't tolerate that. Like one day, a 9-year-old girl looked at me, then looked at her mom and said, "Mommy, he's kind of cute," and then followed up with, "But I bet he's diabetic."
What the hell? Holy shit.
Kids these days, right? Oh man. So you guys are married, right?
Yeah.
I am.
Yeah. I'm working on a divorce.
I don't know if that's a congrats or an I'm sorry.
No, it's a congrats. Because
All right,
yeah. See, that's the appropriate response because it's not like, she was too faithful. Like, you're not fucking enough, guys. I need you to get out. No, it just involves a lot of alcohol and a lot of ice cream, Yeah. So I had to start dating, and that I'm not a big fan because I know I'm wearing my best and there's butterflies on the wall, but I'm white trash. And perfect example of this is couple months ago, I broke my belt, and instead of going to a store and getting a new one, I found a bungee cord.
There you go.
Yeah, but that was there for like a week, man. Like I let it go too long. Like, oh god, there's no way you can take a girl home when the end game is, "Hey, baby, do you want to?" Like, yeah, before you get the Uber, I need you to sign this consent form, and here's your safety goggles.
Is this OSHA approved?
Oh, shit.
But I will say, because there's a lot of hurtful stereotypes when you say white trash. Like, I didn't vote for Trump, and I haven't fucked my sister. The last show I was actually at, somebody screamed, "Why not?"
Oh my God.
And you just have to go with the hacky response of, "Hey man, you can't be funnier than me. Like, you need to stop." Oh man. But I do love to hunt. As you can see, my deer skull is right here for everybody to see. But what I really love is I love to sit in the outdoors and just see animals. Like, the survival instincts that they display is phenomenal. Like, one year I saw a male turkey run 200 yards because he thought he was going to get laid. Now,
There we go.
Didn't work out like that, but I have never looked at another human being and go, "I'd run 200 yards for that." You know? Like, it's incredible, man.
Jesus.
But I am dating somebody new. They're currently blowing up the comment section. Thank you for the support. But has anybody ever dated anybody younger than them?
Hmm?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right now, our age difference is 12 years. So when I was in Iraq, they were learning about that in social studies.
Oh my God.
When,
Jesus Christ.
when I was in Afghanistan, like, they couldn't pronounce that, you know?
Jesus.
And there is a language barrier when it comes to, because generation to generation, you have different lingo. Like, have you guys ever been eating a girl out and heard that shit's lit?
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Oh man.
Like, ooh, like, my dick's not that big. You need to calm down. Oh man.
He's modest. I love it.
He's a modest dude. I love it.
Modest dude.
Oh man. I don't know if you guys can tell this, but I do have like a sense of low self-worth. Like, I really don't think I'm that attractive. And Carter always tells me, if you're so ugly, why am I attracted to you? And it's like, well, that's called daddy issues. Like I did mention, I did serve in the Marine Corps. I've been in Iraq and Afghanistan. Thank you. Sometimes telling this joke can be weird because people don't react. And it's like, oh, is this bit going to die like my friends did? It's all right. This is therapy. You guys laugh, I cry, we heal together. This is how we, I am proud of my service, though, but it's a weird pride because, have you ever worked at a job for 4+ years and hated every minute of it, and then they fire you, and now all you can do is talk about how great it is and get free Applebee's once a year? And that Applebee's is a ripoff because it's not the full menu. They only select like 7 entrees, and you still have to pay for your drink.
Oh my God! Just barely, Perry. They're just almost patriotic. They get 3/4.
You got to chill space.
Yeah.
But I got out in 2015, and I moved back to my hometown of Erie, Pennsylvania. I was living in between San Diego and LA, average 65 degrees a year. Now I'm in Erie, a desolate. I'm an idiot. But I could sit on here and talk about how terrible Erie is all day. Like, have you guys seen Evil Genius on Netflix? The guy with the neck collar bomb, that was Erie. We're in the state of economic depression. Drugs are on a rise. Like, I can just sit here and tell you how terrible it is all day. But I am proud of where I come from. Erie has made me strong-willed, thick-skinned, illiterate. That's all I have, man. Thank you for having me on. Oh,
Great job.
Dan Brady, everybody. Dan Brady. All right, let's talk it up a little bit. Dan, like I said, always a pleasure to watch you perform. You are very active on Facebook, super active. I tell everybody go and find Dan Brady, like his page. Always a funny dude, and be sure to check out his podcast as well. Let me just put this over so everybody can be in the image. Yes, I'm gonna put the banner down so we're not just there. We go. Check out his podcast, everybody. What the history now, Dan? This is such a cool podcast. I got to be on it. Could you describe to the viewers what it is?
So basically, it's me and my very good friend Johnny Smith, and we sit down. I'll do all the research on one subject, and then he'll just sit there and he'll add insight and like little stories and stuff. But basically, each episode is I am teaching our brand new subject to him.
It's so fascinating. Like for example, the one thing we did was I didn't know there was a war. Was it a World War II battle that was on American soil?
Yeah, it was the invasion.
People.
The invasion of the Aleutian Islands off the coast of Alaska. Yeah.
And so, it is scary. That is the plot to a Tarantino Coen brothers baby movie right there. Like those two. I would implore anybody, check out what the history is on that. It is very freaky what happens. I don't want to reveal what happens, but I was like, holy crap, it was dark. But anyway, but what made you want to talk history on a podcast? That's interesting.
I'm a huge history fan, and it's something I read about regularly, and I regularly watch documentaries and stuff, and it's a big thing of who I am as a person, and it's really hard to find people not necessarily with the same knowledge, but to talk to about it. So a podcast, essentially I'm teaching, all the listeners something new every week. So, it really kind of, whets the thirst for that.
Yeah. And also another one, just doing a secondary plug. Can you please tell us what the shirt is you're wearing?
Oh, this is for Johnny, my best friend's podcast, Inquisitive Minds. Each week he brings on a new guest and he talks anything from like ghost, shadow people to Roswell. He speaks with people in the alien community in West Virginia and stuff like that. It's a very interesting show.
And that, like I said, I asked that question for you to answer because I want everybody to see the illustration of you and as well as John. You guys are go-getters. You guys don't sit around. You guys don't wait for opportunities. Opportunity doesn't knock. You kick the fucking door through and you go after what you want. And to me, that is so damn admirable because sometimes I find myself becoming a lazy piece of shit, and I'm just like, and I see you and Johnny doing something. I'm like, all right, yeah. I gotta knock this off. I gotta go do something. They're doing something. They're making shit happen, and always wonderful. Again, please, everybody, give it up for Dan Brady. Everybody, give it up for him, please.
Thank you,
Dan. Question. Where can we listen to your podcast? Because I'm about to become a subscriber. I love history. I love documentaries. I love learning, especially military history.
Yeah.
I very much enjoy that. So where can we listen to and subscribe to your podcast?
Spotify, Anchor, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, YouTube, What in the History Pod,
awesome.
Facebook as well, What in the History. And we just, episode 25, we just did an episode about Sergeant First Class Edward Carter in honor of Black History Month. He was awarded his Medal of Honor about 70 years after World War II because there's this 294 Medal of Honors were handed out during World War II, but no African-American soldiers received any.
Wow.
So in 1992, they took a review into 10 separate cases, and then that ended up awarding 8 Medal of Honors.
Wow.
That's cool. That's very, I'm glad you highlight that. Like I said, one of the nice things about your show as well is you guys teach things that is severely omitted from school. Yeah, I mean, very interesting. very important information. You make it fun. So keep doing what you're doing, man. I love it.
Thank you.
Well, let's bring out our last comic coming to the virtual stage. Now, I'll give you a little bit of background story. This guy, I've known him. We started in the same room together doing comedy. And I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to paint myself as the piece of shit I am. I did not like this kid. I hated his guy. I was honestly, I was just jealous how fucking good he was. All right? I was so fucking like, how? Like, I was such an immature little prick. And, but no, eventually we got to hang out one time. We became very good friends to the point he's like my brother, man. He was in my wedding party. We filmed our comedy special together. Back to back, and we've done incredible projects together. I could not do half the shit that I want to do. A huge so people understand how tied I am to his success, to my success. If this was Jay and Silent Bob, he is Kevin Smith, and I'm just Jason Mewes. I'm talented, but I'm along for the ride. This man gravitates the talent and lifts me up to anywhere I'm at. So please, everybody, give it up for an aspiring TikTok sensation, Mr. Jesse Onesti, Mr. Matt Onesti, everybody. Give it up for Matt. There we go.
All those compliments.
All
those compliments were so good. Thank you guys for having me. Give me a second to put on my shirt. Thank you guys for. I mean, holy fucking shit. So okay, I have to address two things before I get into my stuff. One, the Dans. Jesus Christ! Holy shit! I mean, Dan, one of the best Christopher Reeve jokes I have ever heard. Absolutely. And then Dan Brady, like, just active school shooter, like leading with an active shooter joke. Just fucking what the hell? And Jesse, as per what Jesse left out of his story. Yeah. Of why he didn't like me was because it was my second time doing stand-up comedy, and we were in a contest, and I came in and won that shit. I came in and whooped that ass second time on stage, taking the throne from local comedy legend Jesse. He was going by a different name at the time, but I whooped that ass, and he finally forgave me a couple of years later. It was Jesse is a big piece of shit. Yes, thank you, John. I'm assuming that was you.
That was Jesse. That was Jesse.
Again, I told everybody I was going to paint myself as the prick I was when I was younger.
You were a giant prick, but you made up for it.
You're still younger, dude. You're like 25. What are you talking about?
He's pretending like he's some disgruntled old comedian who's been doing this for 30 years. Jesse has been doing this shit for 30. Jesse's been doing fucking stand-up comedy since he was like 12. Haven't you been doing comedy since you were like 12 years old?
Actually, yeah. I wrote, and I was only able to go certain places because you're not going to trust a 12-year-old. So I got banned from talent show stages everywhere.
Yeah, we had the Boy Wonder, and then Here I Come, and I just whooped that ass, baby. Just brought it down. Okay, enough. I'm sorry. I'll stop humble bragging. I get it. It's whatever. No, I mean, I'm happy to be. I love coming on the show with you guys. This is just such an incredible free for all, and it's cool because like I really haven't been doing comedy a lot, like at all. I haven't done like actual stand up probably since March of last year, which is just awful. I've never felt rustier trying to get in and do stand up. And I mean, I found ways to like fill my time. I know we've kind of talked about this before. I mean, I started learning chess, like I'm way too into it now. I'm watching movies and smoking weed, and that's one thing. You can't do that shit separately. And it's weird. I found myself, the only real public speaking I've been doing is advocacy work. I'm doing a lot of advocacy work for the disabled community, which, again, after what you saw in me showing my nipples almost instantly, I'm not the fucking voice. I don't know why I mean, it's probably because like especially growing up, like I always had a problem with the way people handle the disabled community. Like growing up, people are always telling me, you know, Matt, you can do whatever you want to do. Anything you want to be, you can be. The sky's the limit despite the limitations. Which, no, I can't. No, I'm not. No, lie to me. It's okay. I'm not losing any sleep over the idea that I'll never be a fireman. Like which you don't want to see this. Like, you don't want to see this rolling up to the scene either. Like me in the wheelchair rolling up to your apartment complex, burning to the ground as everything you ever loved is just up in smoke. Just, oh my God, somebody help me. My baby's in there. Man, where's he at? What floor? Oh God, he's on the second floor.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Like the only thing I can help you with is Googling tiny caskets. That's like, listen, if the Dans were going to come out doing fucking dark jokes, I'm not going to sit here and not do a dark joke. It was
fair enough.
That's what I had to do. No, I'm not pro burning babies. I'm just saying the disabled don't make good firefighters. It's okay. Let's stop. Because there's other things we can do. We're good at a lot of shit. But I mean, I don't know, like those are the fights I've been finding myself take, which again, I'm not a good advocate because I bastardize situations and I can't take them seriously for more than like 10 minutes. Like one of the other issues I've actually found myself taking up is this battle with the airlines. So I don't know if you guys know this, but you can't drive wheelchairs on planes. That's one of the things you are unable to do. I think it's absolute bullshit. As a comedian, as someone who wants to be a comedian and entertainer, flying, this barrier to entry of flying is detrimental to me moving forward in my career. And so I can't fly, and two, I don't fly because every time I've ever flown, like when I have taken the chance and tried to, the airlines have almost broken my wheelchair. Which is like a really shitty thing to do to someone, like, okay, what the airlines would do to me, because like I have to get out of my chair and then they put my wheelchair in the cargo bed in like the bottom of the plane. So it's like super unsecure, which is bullshit. But, breaking a wheelchair of, someone who's disabled is fucked up. It's like, you know how when the mob would take a baseball bat to the kneecaps of somebody who like wasn't paying their debts? That's pretty much that's like what the airlines were doing to me every single time, which is like, that's like a really sick joke to play on a kid who's like going to Disney for his first time. You getting off the plane, looking around. Oh my God, I'm in Florida. This is amazing. And then all of a sudden, Vinny the baggage guy pops out with a baseball bat, just welcome to Magic Kingdom, motherfucker. And then metaphorically speaking, taking a baseball bat to my knees.
Shit.
Which is fun. I mean, so I'm handling the situation like any young radical would handle this sort of policy issue. I've taken to writing a letter to my congressman. I wrote a letter to my congressman because I feel that's apparently the only way to get things done. And nothing happened. Nothing has come of it. He sent it to the FAA, the FAA. They sent me back a letter, and they pretty much said to me, they said, Matt, we're sorry, but not sorry. There's nothing we can do about this. And their explanation for it is they said, if we put your wheelchair on the plane, we feel that it is too dangerous for the other passengers, which without reading any further, I was immediately pissed. I was like, what do you mean? What are we, terrorists? That's kind of shitty to think that the disabled community are going to just commit acts of terrorism as soon as we get on the plane. Like, what the fuck kind of reason? No, but then I continue to read further. They did not think that we were a bunch of disabled jihadists. They were. That's a phrase I never thought would come out of my mouth. They actually meant they were worried that in the event of a crash, in the event of the plane plummeting from 30,000 feet in the air, that the straps holding the wheelchair wouldn't be able to hold, meaning that the wheelchair would start just pinging around the cabin like just a death ball, taking people out left and right, man, woman, child, everyone that you can imagine. Which I'm going to be honest with you, like, why does it matter? The plane's going down. What are we worried about? We're worried about giving these people a quick release from life. Is that what this? So you know what I took from that? I took that the airlines want you, everyone watching at home, the airlines want you to suffer as much as possible. They want you to have as long and as tumultuous of an experience dying in the event of a plane crash, which I think is what they should start putting on their tickets. Airlines, we don't give a shit about you and when you die, which is fuck. Like, they're worried about the wrong thing. Like, it doesn't make sense to me on why this is there. It's like, again, more now. I'm just going to keep using analogies because as an advocate, I'm learning that if you don't use analogies, people have no idea what the fuck you're talking about. It's kind of like, think of it like this. Them being worried about me killing people as we're about to die in the event that, like, we land on the Hudson, I guess, is what they're worried about. We have Tom Hanks landing the plane or whatever. It's kind of like
drinks in them.
It's kind of like saying, it's kind of like playing dance music at a funeral. You know what I mean? Like, it's not going to help. We get it. It's not going to help the situation, but it's not going to make it any worse. Yeah, it's not going to make the situation any worse. So I'm going to try and use that argument. We'll see if that gets submitted to the archives of Congress as a legitimate argument. I'm sorry, you guys got me fucking thinking dark. You guys got my mind going to really dark places. So, I mean, I guess I'll talk about funerals. I was talking about funerals. I'll just keep talking about funerals. How do you guys feel about funerals? You guys dig them? You guys into the funerals?
Love them.
You guys hang out. No, I don't know. Okay, so you guys we're all comedians or assholes or funny people, whatever you want to call us. I don't know if you guys run into this problem, but do you ever feel like really uncomfortable with a funeral because it's like a social gathering, and because we've trained ourselves to constantly upbeat, energetic, having a good time, you feel that like urge kick in when you're in this like congregate setting. And it's kind of hard to stamp out because, you can use that energy, that like nervous, spastic, funny energy, literally in any other scenario but a funeral. Like, you can't come busting through the door of a funeral parlor with the energy of an open mic host. Just like, how's everyone doing tonight? Yeah!
Oh my God, no.
I mean, because the answer is always, we're not doing good, Matt. We're not like Uncle Jim is lying there after suffocating himself in the garage. Like Aunt Lily and the kids have been crying for days. The eldest boy was so shaken up, he tried to suffocate himself in the garage. But he didn't know you had to shut the garage door to make it work. But now he doesn't have a father to teach him those kind of things. So how? Every single time, every single. We have a lot of Uncle Jims in the family. It's really taking a toll on us. I don't know. Listen, I am the wrong person to ask to take death seriously. I'm not. Don't ask me to stop shitting on death. I'm the wrong person to go to. And that's the kind of shit that happens. Is this a humble brag saying I've had near-death experiences? Like, is that like a thing to be proud of, to say like, oh yeah, I've almost died? I think me and Dan Brady, maybe we might be the only ones in this chat who get it. But no, like, it's weird. Like, and if you're wondering, like, if you're at home and you're wondering, like, if maybe you're not sure if you had a near-death experience, here's how you know. Here's how you sort of know what the severity of the situation is. I had spinal fusion surgery like 13 years ago. Fix a 120-degree curvature of my spine. I was so bent, my lungs were being crushed. the weight of my body. It was terrible. So I had to have surgery, 8-hour surgery. And at the end of the surgery, the doctor comes out, and the first thing he says to my parents, he goes, Mr. and Miss Onesti, I did everything I could in there, but it's in God's hands now.
Oh my God.
Which, if you don't understand medical lingo, that means your kid is fucked. You might want to start calling somebody, get the flower arrangements, because this isn't looking good, which I think is shitty. That's like, one, I think he has way more power than he's letting on to. The guy was just elbow deep in my spine using modern technology. And the best phrase he could come up with to comfort my parents was essentially the same thing Hulk Hogan had been saying all the way throughout the 80s. Just, Mr. Honesty, hope your boy's been saying his prayers and eating his vitamins. Hulkamania ran wild on that spine. Oh my God. What the fuck? You wouldn't expect, like, you would not accept that from any other profession. You know what I mean? There is no other profession in this world that you would accept that from. Like if you drop your car off at the mechanic and you go back and pick up your car and the mechanic comes out and goes, Mr. Onesti, I did everything I could to those brakes. But it's in God's hands now. You're not driving that fucking car.
Nope.
You're gonna leave a bad Yelp review and go home. You're gonna call an Uber and get the fuck out of there, because you know if you drive that car, you're dying in a fiery collision. That's never a good thing. I'm so sorry. I don't know, you guys. This is actually cool. This is such a breath of fresh air to kind of just be able to come here, hang out, talk some shit with you guys.
Yeah, man.
I don't know, like I've had too much time. I've had way too much time on my hands. I just can't, like, I don't know, like, I've had a lot of time to think about shit. And I know I was just talking about, being an advocate and doing all this stuff. And I'm going to be honest with you guys, I still don't know. I still don't know where my voice is with it. Like, I don't know if I want to continue, if comedy is the place to use my voice, to help the community, or if I should continue to separate it and just keep being the nice asshole that I am and bastardizing very serious issues. And I know Jesse and I have talked about this a lot, but it's weird because, like, I'm afraid of alienating. I'm really afraid of alienating my audience because I want to speak to everybody. I don't just want to speak to my community. I want to be able to talk on a broader term, but I'm worried because, like, it's natural to people to only be able to speak on their own terms and their own, things that pertain to them. Like, there's been, thousands of protests in the past fucking 2 years. Like, there's been just a protest a day keeps the doctor away. Like, it's endless. And I'm not saying like it's a bad thing. Like, we should all know everything about everything. I think if you can, that's great, but I'm not going to hold it against you if you don't. Like, I can't tell you about everything. I can tell you about a disabled protest of ADAPT, which I'm going to be honest with you, I'm telling this joke because it ties into reality now. If you want to talk about the disabled community being trendsetters, we were the first ones to storm the Capitol, goddammit. We were the first ones. We stormed the Capitol in 2017, and everyone was like, oh, we don't give a shit. Oh, that's when you should have been paying attention, when the disabled community, because, like, the disabled, okay, so we're just going to go off on what they call the riff. So the disabled community, the protests of ADAPT stormed the Capitol. They stormed Mitch McConnell's office specifically, protesting because they were trying to get rid of Medicaid, which is, something that allows us to live and survive and be completely autonomous have caregivers who help us go to school and drive us around and make sure that we don't die, you know, things that matter. So, you know, when the disabled community is storming the Capitol, you should know that that's serious, because I don't know if you guys know this about the disabled community, but it takes us a lot to do anything, let alone storm Mitch McConnell's office. Like, but what's fucked up, here's what pisses me off, is when we stormed the Capitol, we got the shit beat out of us. And I get it. Oh, man, equality, that's just how it works. If you want to be treated like everyone else, you're going to get the shit beat out of you like everyone else. But, like, okay, whatever, I get it. But if you compare how we were treated compared to these fucking assholes who were storming the Capitol in their military fatigues and their guns and their zip ties, you know, you would think that they also would have got their shit kicked out of them or worse. But that didn't happen. And you know what? Like, I get it. Don't get me wrong. I get it. Like, you look at them and you're like, oh, yeah, I'm not going to fuck. Those guys are going to hurt me. I'm not going to fuck with those guys. But then you look at the disabled community and you're like, now's my chance. This is the only chance I'm going to get. I'm not going to let this slip by, and I'm going to beat the shit out of that crippled boy. So So I don't know. I don't know what my role is. I honestly have no idea what my role is as an advocate. But it's like, what else am I going to talk? Like, if I'm going to stay away from real world scenarios and try and walk away from this kind of stuff, you know, what else am I going to talk about? Like, I don't know. What else is there to talk about protests other than like the brutality? You know what I mean? Like, what am I going to spend 10 minutes talking about the chants? Just take all this time, which, I mean, you know what? I get it. Chants are awesome. Don't get me wrong. I love chants. I do. Yeah. Okay, I will spend time talking about the chants. They're beautiful. I don't know if you guys also get depressed by this idea that after a protest is over, you lose that chant forever, which I think is really depressing, you know, because as a writer, I feel bad for the person who came up with it. Like, think about like, hey, LBJ, how many kids you killed today? One of the most iconic chants in American political history. Yeah. Like, literally the greatest chant ever created, but like, there's no recyclability to it. You could never use, hey, LBJ, how many kids you killed today ever again. I mean, unless, of course, LeBron James starts murdering children on a daily basis. Right? All right, I'll leave. That's the last one for me. I'll leave you guys on that. That's the last one. That's all the jokes I have, because I don't want to depress you people anymore.
Matt, I will say, everybody. When you were talking about the wheelchair bouncing around in the cabin, all I could think about was a pinball machine making that ping, paching, paching sound, and just seeing a number counter going 100, 100, 100, 100, like as it.
You got a Rush soundtrack playing in the background as this chair is just going. Day comes story, it's high, and then there's like a kid taking a fucking wheelchair to the eye, to the temple.
It reminds me of the gym. Remember that gym game, Poison Ball? Where the ball, and you're the poison ball to anything, everybody. But one of the things I wanted to throw out is, I have a tag for you, because you made me think. Matt and I rewrite a lot together, so I'll tell you after the show. It's about the surgery thing, but Matt. Yeah, I know. Matt and I give each other tags all the time. And sometimes it's always 50-50 with you and me, because we'll either say this about the other one's tags. Yes, that's perfect. Or I'm going to get canceled. There are so many, like, I wish there were certain things that we could talk about freely that wouldn't be taken out of context and be used against us for when we inevitably run for political office someday. But just as a teaser, there are so many conversations where, like, I would just get a phone call from Jesse where, like, I would pick up the phone and I would legit, like, it got to be so consistent. I would have to, like, say, hey, Jesse, my phone's on speaker. Like, just Okay, I'll reveal one of the things I did. So we have this character called Harry the Hack. It's every hack comedian we ever met put together into one person who's a 50s lounge singer. And basically he has to say the most offensive thing possible. And he goes, What the fuck did I do? It was a joke. Soften up. You know what the hardest part about fucking on the second date is? Trying to remember where you buried her.
Jesse's he's like a revert. Like, you know how Robin Williams would call Steven Spielberg to cheer him up, you know, when he was writing the Schindler's List, but he would like tell him he's like real upbeat. Jesse, like when I was depressed and in school, Jesse would call me and then say the most fucking offensive, dirtiest jokes in like a reverse Robin Williams scenario.
So just zero inspiration at all. Zero inspiration. Nothing good. Nothing comes from it. Our phones are at this point. We will destroy them and take those to our graves. The crap I put, I should say. But anyway, Matt, before we run out of time, I do want to just talk over some projects. Besides, be sure, everybody. I want you everybody to look at the screen here. Look at me. I want you to look. Everybody's got their eyes on the screen. All right, here it is. Here's the pitch. It's right here. But it's the Matt
There he is.
Which I just love this picture.
That is there is such a funny story behind that picture, and it's so personal. A very dear friend who actually used to be my graphic design teacher in high school, Jim Cliff. Follow his shit on Instagram. Puts out some of the fucking best graphic design work. He has amazing students at the Denver School of Art, just making shit. It's such a high fucking quality. But he made this picture when we were in high school. So that is a picture of a 15-year-old Matt, which is ridiculous because, like, you know, he taught me how to Photoshop because he realized I was an asshole and I wouldn't learn things unless it was funny. So he was like, here's how you cut yourself out and put yourself into ridiculous scenarios. So that's how he taught me how to pull shit out. This is the example he made. So he put his in my face on a Simon and Garfunkel album. And he put me on Paul Simon, of course. That's Paul Simon's face. The funny thing is like, that's a 15-year-old Matt, but that is exactly what I would look like if I put on a driver's cap, shaved my face, and took out the man bun all these years later, which is just so beautiful.
Yeah, it is. You look like you're about to break out in the dance because your grandson just found the golden ticket.
Played in bed for 20 years like a freeloader, knowing you could get up at any time.
Yeah, which, by the way, at first I hated him. What a hero. That guy's a hero. But Matt, one last thing before we wrap up. You and I have been working on a project for a very long time. It's our specials.
Yes.
A lot of things slowed us down. The filming was the easiest part, which is usually the hardest part.
Oh my God, we were so lucky to have filmed that special when we did.
Yeah.
One, because Harrison Poole, our director, him and we did the specials as a senior project because it was the best way for us to get equipment for free. Which is just wonderful. But I mean, a semester later, we wouldn't have had, like, the whole thing would have been shut down. We never would have had the opportunity. So it is, although we are making really good progress, I am hoping to be able to make an announcement very, very, very soon on when our release date is going to be. Both of us have one in mind. We're holding on to it. Just to be safe, so we don't want to get anyone's hopes up, but it's going to be coming out very soon. This goddamn lockdown. I mean,
everything,
just
like,
oh my God.
We tried to edit. It's like someone got COVID. This bad happened. Someone's family. And I got married, like, and considered a prick, and I took up
what an asshole
planning the wedding. I know, right? But it's on its way. But hey, anyways, I want to say thank you for everybody that joined us here tonight. I want to thank Mr. Dan Brown, comedian, comic book writer. Go check out his website right now and be ready. When that goes on sale, get yourself a comic book, everybody. Give it up for Dan Brady, everybody. Please check out all of his podcasts. Go to his Facebook. It's all there. And thank you very much again, Matt Onesti, my worst enemy, but now my love brother. I'm going to say my love brother. That's what he is. But give it up for him, everybody. Comedy special's on its way. I want to thank. Let's see. Hold on one second. Chloe Brink, thank you so much for being out here and making us laugh. So thank you so much. Let's give it up for her, everybody. Give it up for her.
Yeah.
Give it up for Ted Wolf, Ted Wood, everybody. Give it up for Ted.
Yeah, Ted.
Again, as always, as a reminder, piece of shit who I am. Always remember that. Always a piece of shit. Thank you guys so much for joining us again. Like I said, if you didn't get the whole episode, like and subscribe us on YouTube. You can enjoy us there and all past episodes. And please, I want to give a big shout out to Max Rowland, our graphic designers, as well as Vance, who produces the goods. That's what he does. And we love him for it. And we'll be here every Wednesday at 7 p.m. right here on Facebook Live. But until then, I'm Jesse.
And I'm John.
And you've been sitting at the grown-ups table. Thank you, everyone. Have an awesome night, everyone. Take care. Peace out. We love you. We love you. All right.